Alright, the 10-day mental challenge. Anthony Robbins. You may ask, how long can I focus on the negative before it's considered dwelling? To me, 1 minute with a continuous focus on with emotional attachment. What's wrong is dwelling. 1 minute is more than enough time for us to be able to catch ourselves with create a challenge. Our whole goal is to catch the monster. While it's little, certainly within 20 to 40 seconds, you know if you're being negative about something. If you were, though, I'd give you some myself up at a maximum of 2 minutes to notice the challenge, then begin to change your state. 2 minutes is certainly enough time to identify that you're in a negative state with the break of the pattern. If you allow yourself to go as long as 5 minutes or more, you find maybe the mental challenge won't accomplish its task. Instead, you just learn to vent your emotions more quickly. The goal is to knock out things before you ever get in a negative emotional state in the first place. When I tried this exercise after doing the 3 days, I got caught up and angry about something that I indulged about 5 minutes of negative emotions before I realized what I was doing. I had to start all over again on my second trip, though. On the 6th day, I ran into some major challenges, but at this point, I was committed. It wasn't about to start over again, so I immediately found myself focusing on the solution. The benefit, as you can guess, was not just staying in the mental dive, but I began to condition myself tremendously lifelong pattern, staying in positive emotional state, even when there were challenges around me, focusing the majority of my energy on solutions. To this day, even when I hear about problems, as you probably noticed, I tend to call them challenges. I don't dwell on them and immediately focus on how I convert the challenge into an opportunity. We first make our habits, then our habits make us. John Dryden. You may decide while you're taking the mental challenge you want to cleanse your body as a unlimited power I issue with a 10-day physical challenge. Combining both a 10-day living and healthy vital challenge with a 10-day mental challenge can produce powerful results that can take your life to another level in the next 10 days. Committing the following through the mental challenge, you'll be giving yourself the break of the limiting habits, flexing on the muscles of the empowerment. You'll be sending your brain new messages, commanding new results. You'll be demanding empowering emotions, enriching thoughts, inspiring questions. With a clear-cut moving away idea, the pain of starting over, or you are giving the brain strong signals to search the empowering patterns. By setting a high standard of what thoughts you all or want mind to dwell on, you'll begin to notice that the garbage and destructive patterns are used blindly and lazily accept from yourself. And as a result, you'll find it difficult to go back away to the old way again. The starkness of the approach will cause you to remember these patterns in the future, making it difficult to go back in the old pattern again. A word of caution: don't begin with a 10-day commitment until you are certain that you're going to live at the full length of the time. And don't start with a sense of the commitment you certainly won't make through 10 days. This is not a challenge for a weak at heart. This is only for those who are really committed with a condition with a nervous system for the new empowering emotional patterns that can take their life to the next level. Have you decided yet whether you're going to do this? Think about it carefully before committing yourself, because once you do, you need to hold yourself to your word and experience of the joy of it that comes from the disciplined effort. If you answer yes, the next 10 days you'll be taking things you've learned intellectually up till now and making them part of your daily experience of life. These 10 days will help you using neuro-associative conditioning technology to condition yourself for success. You'll be asking a new question, transformational vocabulary, empowering global metaphors, installing change of focus and physiology. Let's take it. We all have our indulgencies in life. If you're overweight, indulgency may be a chocolate fudge sundaes or a double cheese pizza. When you diet, what you say to yourself, enough is enough. This is where I draw the line. You hold yourself with the highest standard and enjoy the self-esteem that comes from a single part of the discipline act. But we'll all have our mental indulgences too. Some people feel sorry for themselves. Some get angry in a way subverts their own best interest. Some of us also fail to focus on things they need attention. Many challenges you decide with the 10 days you will not allow yourself to single of the destructive mental indulgencies. What stands in the way of just deciding with a banish to them? These things really are the one laziness. A lot of the people do what they should do, but they never quit, but get up and with the energy to do it. And many of them know their lives could be something more. Just sitting in front of the tube eating junk food, depriving them the minds and bodies of the fuel that they need to spark new growth. The second obstacle is fear, all often security with a mediocre present and with the comfortable then adventure of the trying to be more in the future. Some people get to the end of their lives wondering what could have been. Don't let this happen to you. The third challenge is force a habit. We old emotion patterns with the deadening force of the routine, like a plain automatic pilot with a brain that agrees on the same old response it always has. We face obstacles, see the problem instead of the solution. We suffer the reversal sorry ourselves instead of deciding how to learn from it. And when we mistake and seem it, sword over the baleful judgment on what we can do instead of deciding to lead from it and move forward. This exercise is a way to get beyond all three, produces the last change of the benefits can multiply over time the opportunity to make of the true commitment, can I? Your focus on financial pressure operating out of fear won't make any better. But if you blame your spouse for everything that goes wrong in your life, the easy thing to do is to keep doing it. If you mask your insecurities by angry at all times, if you wallow and quilt, if you blame your looks or your financial situation or your upbringing for all your problems, it's not easy to change, but already have many tools to improve your life. This is my challenge. You start using them. Believe that the power of inherent little exercise is amazing. If you stick with it, it will do four things for you. First, it will make you acutely aware of the habitual mental patterns that hold you back. Second, it will make your brain search for empowering alternatives to them. Third, it will give you an incredible jolt of confidence as you see that you can turn life around. Fourth, the most important, it will be credible new habits, new standards, new expectations that will help you expand more than you could ever believe. Success is processional. Its a result of series of small disciplines that lead with the habitual patterns of success no longer require consistent will or effort. Like a freight train picking up speed, this exercise of doing the things right, constantly erasing patterns that hold you back and installing new ones that propel you forward and give you a sense of momentum like very things you've done in your life. The great new things about this is that unlike diet, where they starve yourself and eventually have to go back to eating, your old pattern, finding the negative, is not one that you ever have to return again. This may not be a 10-day exercise in the end. It's really an opportunity for you to become addicted to a positive focus for the rest of your life. But after banishing of your toxic mental patterns for 10 days, you want to return and be my guest. If the truth is, once you experience life in the mental, vital, alive way, go back would be disgust you. But if you ever find yourself getting off track, you have the tools immediately to put yourself back on the high road again. Remember that only you can make the 10-day mental challenge work. Only you can make the commitment to really follow through. You might consider getting extra leverage on yourself to make certain that follow through. One way of providing yourself with incentive is to announce to people around you what you're committing to do. Find a partner who wants to take the 10-day mental challenge with you. In addition, it would be an ideal to keep a written journal while meeting the 10-day mental challenge, writing your experiences each day, recording how you successfully dealt with these various challenges. I think it would be invaluable to review, and I think it would find it invaluable to review later on. Finally, one of the most valuable took in creating change if it's not interpreting your old pattern but replacing it with something new. What you must do to commit to doing what you may decide to commit to doing is something I do on an ongoing basis throughout my life. Become a reader. Leaders are readers. Years ago, one of the teachers, Jim Ron, taught one of the reading something of the substance, something of the value, something of the nurturing, something over the top of the new distinction every day was more important than eating. He got hooked on the idea of reading a minimum of 30 minutes of the day, and he said, "This miss meal, don't miss your reading." I found that one of the most valuable distinctions in my life, so I was cleansing my system of the old. You might want to be empowering to continue to read the new. And are the plenty of the page of valuable insight strategy ahead of you that you can utilize during these 10 days. If you learn anything from this book, it's power of decision. Your critical point of the journey together, learn a variety of fundamental strategy distinctions that can now be using with a powerful positive shape your life. My question to you right now is, have you made your decision to use them? Don't you owe it to yourself to make most of what this book is to offer you? This is one of the most important ways to follow through. Commit now to do this once quickly as you're committed to living quality of life once only dreamed of. So realize this chapter is a personal challenge. It's an opportunity, invitation, demand more than from yourself than the others would expect. The reap the rewards come from the commitment. At the time of the practice, what you've learned, but all the time to decide whether you're willing to commit to make simple but yet powerful improvements in your life and know what you desire. If you need evidence that you can do and sincerely believe in this chapter would provide it, if you're willing to go for it and for it full out. At this point, you read, you're ready to move on to the next section of this book. You've learned the fundamental tools of shaping your life and making decisions, but now let's say the master system that controlling every decision you make throughout your life. Understand the basis of your own personal philosophies, accompanied by Part 2, Taking Control of the Master System. Chapter 14, Ultimate Influences in your Masters. Ultimate influence your master system.